Yes.
Yeah, this is Crazy Ivan.
Hey, how you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good.
Well, it's good to talk to you.
Yeah, it's good to talk to you too. Just so you know, I've been, excuse me, I've been following Stryper since '85.
Wow. So you go way back with us.
Yeah, I actually caught you. What is it? It was at the Boathouse in Norfolk, Virginia,
Wow.
and you guys were my first concert.
Man. Well, and we're still here. Can you believe that?
Yeah, I can believe it. And
Crazy.
I got a couple questions for you.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I know you've had some rough time past couple years. How's life been treating you since like the passing of your first wife?
Well, I've been remarried and we celebrated 5 years ago this last January. So coming up this January, 6 years. And life is good. I mean, it's been a blur.
Mm-hmm.
Been really busy traveling, recording, writing. A lot going on. And it's been great. I mean, thank God. I was sent an angel, Lisa, and I just been moving on and trying to live and enjoy life.
Mm-hmm. Now getting towards the album, The Fallen. I know it's all over the place that Clinton Lowry of Seven Dust helped you write Yahweh. What was it like working with him?
You know what? It was really cool. We weren't in the same room together, so he sent me a couple guitar ideas. One of the two I really liked. It was a riff, and I ran with that and wound up writing Yahweh. And it wound up obviously being probably one of the most epic songs we've ever done, the longest song we've ever done.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a little different. It's got a little different feel to it, and people seem to really like it so far. So it was a joy working with him. He's a great guy. We share the same beliefs and same faith, and he's a family guy and just a good guy. And I'd love to work with him again.
Okay. Um, Now, what do you want from the fans to get from listening from the album The Fallen? Is there any subliminal messages there?
No subliminal message. I mean, it's really straight ahead
Yeah.
message. What we've always sung about,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just a bold message. We sing about God. We love God. We put our faith in God, and
Mm-hmm.
that's pretty much what the band portrays. It
Yeah.
always has, always will.
Yeah, and that's been the one constant that I've seen with Stryper. So, After Forever is the second released Black Sabbath cover song that you've done. What message did you want to say by doing another Sabbath song?
Well, it wasn't so much that it was just a coincidence that it turned out being a Sabbath song. I just felt like musically that was a perfect song fit. Lyrically, it was a perfect song
Mm-hmm.
fit. We like to do covers. I mean, we always have. And it's fun to kind of put our take on a song that we grew up with and that we love. And obviously, After Forever was one of those songs. We grew up playing Sabbath when we were teenagers,
Mm-hmm.
and they were a big influence of ours. And lyrically, not a lot of people would know that a lot of Black Sabbath's lyrics are Christian-based lyrics.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
and when they read the lyrics, it's a bit of a shocker. If you read the lyrics to After Forever, they're probably even more Christian than anything Stryper's ever done.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's very bold Christian lyric.
Yeah, and see, me, it's like um, they're always to me they're just a heavy blues bass band, and that the image was all that's all it was an image.
Exactly. And it was an image, and I think it's. Uh, I hear comments from people talking about how we're not real and we're not this and we're not that. And the funny thing is about us is, you know, who we are on stage is who we are off stage.
Mm-hmm.
And we get comments like, we're not real. It's, and then you go see Black Sabbath, and Ozzy's biting off the heads of bats, and he's known as the Prince of Darkness and this and that. But off stage, he's not that person.
Mm-hmm.
And probably many other bands, Slayer, people see the pentagrams and think they're this evil, devil, satanic band, and then Tom gets off stage and puts his bass down and goes to church.
Yeah. Yeah, because I
It's
know
it's
he.
kind of it's kind of funny, and but we're the ones that are called not real.
Yeah. Well, see, that's the whole thing. Is like Thomas Slayer is a big, Catholic,
I know,
and it's
and
people.
that's great.
Yeah.
That's great. I'm just saying, the bands have this image, and then behind the scenes, there's something completely different.
Mm-hmm.
Stryper is the same backstage and on stage.
And that's kind of why I like Stryper when I saw, I mean, back in the 80s, like I said, I saw you at the Boathouse in Norfolk, and it's like, I liked what you guys were doing on stage. And then, after doing more research on the band off stage, I'm just like, they're same people. They just dress different when they're on stage, and that's it.
Exactly. We dress different, and we go to church, and we try to live godly lives and lives that represent God, and
Mm-hmm.
we try to be good people, and you don't come backstage and see us, with groupies and worshiping the devil and leading a completely different opposite life of what we're portraying on stage.
Yeah. Now, personally, I'm a fan of the harder tracks like Yahweh and Fallen. Which of the tracks on the Fallen do you like the most?
My favorites are Yahweh,
Mm-hmm.
Fallen, of course,
Okay.
Pride.
Okay.
I like Heaven. I like Let There Be Light, and I love King of Kings.
Okay.
That's probably one of my favorites. I like all the songs, but I do have my favorites,
Yeah.
uh, and just my preferences.
Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that. Probably Oz has got his favorite, and they may not be all yours.
Exactly.
Yeah. Who would you say is the biggest musical influence on the band as a whole?
Oh gosh, biggest musical influence.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about on the band. That's hard for me to say because we're all so different in our musical taste.
Mm-hmm.
Like for example, Tim was influenced by bands like Elton John and Three Dog Night
Mm-hmm.
and the Partridge Family, believe it or not.
What?
Yeah,
Oh
and I
man.
I love that stuff,
Yeah.
but I wasn't influenced by it.
Yeah.
I was influenced by bands like um, early on Creedence Clearwater Revival,
Mm-hmm.
and then moved into like Cheap Trick and Aerosmith and stuff like that. And then I really got heavily influenced by Judas Priest,
Yeah.
Van Halen,
Oh yeah.
all that kind of stuff.
Um.
Oz is really influenced by like Black Sabbath.
Mm,
I mean, he listened to Sabbath a lot growing up.
okay.
Robert was influenced by bands like Grand Funk Railroad and Yesterday and Today and Led Zeppelin,
Mm-hmm.
bands like that.
The heavier rhythm
Yeah,
sections.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Okay. Now, do you guys have any plans to tour for the album other than the April 24th show at the Whiskey?
We are. We're going to be adding lots and lots of dates to the calendar throughout 16 from April to November.
Mm-hmm.
And we're hoping to do a few U.S. runs, Canadian, European, South American,
Mm-hmm.
maybe get over to Japan and Korea. But we're going to do a lot of touring for sure. Absolutely.
Okay. Now, I saw the video of Todd from Queensryche filling on the drums on. I think what was it?
Soldiers Under Command.
Yeah, I saw that video. Now, it's kind of a mixed bag for me because I love Queensryche. They were my first tattoo.
Oh, wow.
Would Stryper go on tour with Queensryche?
Yeah, I mean, that would be phenomenal because we love the guys. We all get along. I think musically, it's a great fit,
Mm-hmm.
perfect fit musically. So I think we'd have the time of our lives. It's just the thing that's tricky is trying to make that work for the buyers, for the promoters.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times 1 plus 1 doesn't always make 2.
Mm-hmm.
And just because it sounds like a great fit, if Queensryche wants this much or needs this much financially and we need that much, it might not make sense to the buyer
Yeah.
and it's not feasible financially. So, it gets tricky. There's a lot that goes into a tour, and it's hard to pull things off like that sound great. We would love to tour with Queensryche, and maybe that'll happen. But, there are always the odds of it not happening.
Yeah. Well, because I know they're going out on tour with their Conditioned Human tour, and one of the supporting guests is a band from Atlanta. It's
Right.
called Halcyon Way,
Yep.
and they're a real good band too.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah,
So,
absolutely. And,
um,
the reason why they're probably doing that is, this opening band
mhm.
either isn't asking for a very large guarantee, or sometimes a lot of these up and coming bands are actually paying a little money to get on a tour like that.
Mhm.
Their label is, or they are, or what have you. And that's just the world, the music world we live in right now.
Yeah. Now, speaking of up and coming bands, does your son still have that band that was on
He
tour with
does.
you?
He does. It was a band called Flight Patterns, but they have a new band now. He's
Okay.
still in music, and it's called Forest Fires.
Okay.
And they're really great, man. They got a really cool sound. They're not a metal band, not a hard rock band, but
Yeah.
they've got their own thing going, and it sounds amazing. And they're always winning contests in Rhode Island and being voted number one this and number one that. And
Hmm.
I'm hoping and praying that the world hears about them very soon.
Okay. Well, well, I can tell you right now, I'm somebody that would be willing to listen to them and
Oh, that's
give them a
awesome.
shot. So,
Well, that's killer.
would they be going on tour if you go out on a tour?
I doubt it, and the reason why, they all have a lot going on in their lives, and it's
Hmm.
very hard for them to go tour extensively. We're planning on doing a few ground runs, so I don't think they'd be able to do that. But
Okay.
you know what? They're making some noise right now, and if you go check them out, you can hear their music. Again, they're called Forest Fires.
Okay.
They're from Rhode Island,
Hmm.
and they got a Facebook page and all that. You can go listen to their music and check it out. It's really cool stuff.
Okay. And just one last question. And this is I'd kind of throw this in after hearing another interviewer doing this. Can you name the five Spice Girls?
Um, I know there's Posh.
Hmm.
There's oh gosh, man.
You got
No, I
one?
cannot.
Oh,
I,
okay. What is it?
what
Posh,
what is the name of the five Spice Girls?
Posh, Sporty, Scary, Baby, and Ginger.
Okay, I
So,
I was I had Scary and Sporty in my head,
yeah.
but I didn't want to say it and be a fool.
Well,
And
that's why I throw that question in there, just to catch people off guard.
no, but I had Scary and Sporty in there.
Yeah.
I knew those two as well. But
Yeah, it was probably Ginger that kind of threw you.
yeah,